live. We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. I'm just adjusting the cameras a little bit because they look a little crazy. Well, they are. That's not right. And that's a little bit closer. Okay. Whew. We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We're joined today by a pup, and he might be exploring the scene. But if I leave him outside the door, it will be very loud and annoying, so I won't be able to focus. Hopefully, it'll be okay. We're getting started. It's time. We're going to get started with some hip cars. If you're just joining in for the first time and you're like, what the heck is this guy talking about? We do 45 to 60 minutes of live hip mobility and side split training. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community. I try to bring good vibes to the internet so that we can get into these awkward, uncomfortable, painful positions and make a little bit of progress in our side splits, in our mobility together. And if you like that, make sure to follow along, hang out, do some stretches. I explain everything as we go so you don't need any prior experience. And hopefully you enjoy the show. All right? If you already are excited, hit follow, hit subscribe. If you're not decided yet, let's start and you can decide later. Cool. We're going to get started with hip cars. Hip cars are all about moving your hips through their maximum range of motion using your own muscle power. All right. So we're going to start by bringing this knee up as high as we can directly in front of us. From here, we're going to open up that leg directly to the side as far and open as you can. Keep on trying to keep these hips in the same spot. Focus on bringing the leg out. I think Che just came in and said hello, hello, hello. From here, we're going to rotate this ankle up so that it's hidden behind your knee. From the side, it's going to look a little bit like this. Cool? We're going to keep going. We're going to keep on bringing that ankle up, as high as you can. And we're going to bring the leg down and back. What that means is we're going to pull that leg directly behind us, like this. Feel the stretch here in the front of the hip. From the side, it's going to look like this. Your hamstrings are going, your glutes are flexed, your hip flexor is feeling stretched, and that is one rep. We're going to do 10 of these on the left side, 10 of these on the right side. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to zip up these pockets. All right, let's do this. High knee, open, ankle up some more, down and back. Whew. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 3. High knee, open, ankle up some more, down and back. That's 4. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 5. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 6. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 7. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 8. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 9. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 9. Last one, open, ankle up, down and back. Oh, that is 10 hip cars on one side. We got the other side to do, and then we're going to reverse the whole thing. Let's keep going. Feel free to hold on to something for a little bit of balance support. We want you to focus on the hips doing their bestest and not having you flop around the whole entire time. So don't feel any shame. Put your hands down. Support yourself. Get into some hip cars. High knee. Open. Ankle up some more. Bring the leg down and back. Whew, that's 1 rep. Let's go. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 2. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 3. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 4. High knee, open, ankle up, down and back. That's 5. High knee, high knee, open, ankle up, down and back. The confusion on this dog's face, it is at very high levels. I'm trying not to kick the dog in the face. It just doesn't react at all. It's just standing here super confused. I think this is 7. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 8, high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 9. One more, high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 10. Oh, those are hip cars. Going forward, take a second, do some hip circles, do a little dance, loosen up those hips, and let's get ready to go in reverse. Oh, good exercise. I did 5. Amazing. Traveler Roxy asks, Goldie, what hurts? Oh, that's not good. Oh, okay, we're gonna go in reverse. Dog, I know, it's confusing. What is he doing with his legs? What's going on? All right, in reverse, we're gonna start with bringing the leg down and back, right? So actually in reverse, we ended before with the leg down and back. Now we're starting with that leg down and back. I want you to keep this core nice and strong, nice and tight while you do these so that you protect your low back. Especially when the down and back comes first, we tend to be a little bit aggressive, we get a little excited, and we go, hoo-ah! And we kick that leg back as far as we can. A lot of the time, it tends to be the case that we stop focusing on feeling the stretch here in the hip, and we start adding in a whole bunch of movement here in the low back. That torquing sensation that we're doing is gonna make your low back achy if you're doing lots of reps and you're doing them every single day. So try to keep that core tight so you're not doing as much of the twerk while we do these. All right, core tight. Let's go. We start with bringing the leg down and back. Feel the stretch here in the hip flexor. Try to keep the core secured. Hamstring, glutes are flexed. And from here, we're going to lift that leg up directly to the side. And then we're going to rotate the ankle up as high as we can. Bring the ankle all the way down. And then finish by bringing the knee forward. Okay? Let's go. That's 1 rep. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's 2 back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. 3. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. 4. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. 5. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. 6. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. 7. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. 8. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. 8? 9? I don't know what I got to. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. 10, right? I think I said 8, and then I said 8 again, and then 9. Because it was actually 9, and that means that was 10. Okay. Oh, we got 1 more leg. Let's go. Every time I turn around, the dog thinks that is me signaling to him for some cuddles times, but it's not. Benji, it's not time. Let's continue. Bring that leg down and back. Keep the core nice and tight. Lift up directly to the side. Rotate the ankle up. Rotate the ankle down. Knee up and forward. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's 2. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. 3. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. 4. Ooh, hip just cracked. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. 4. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. 5. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. 6. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. 7. 3 more. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. 8. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. 9. One last one. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. And that's 10. Oh, man. Those are hip cars in reverse. If your hips are tired, If your calf muscles are tired of balancing yourselves, that is totally and completely normal. Is the dog trying to exit? It wants to leave? Perfect. That works out perfectly. All right. We are ready to continue. That was our first warm-up exercise. If you're just joining in, and you have no idea what's going on, this distracting dog is cute and adorable but confusing. We're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little community, to try and send some good vibes out into the internet so that we can make stretching and this suffering we do on the floor trying to get more flexible every day a little bit more fun. So if you need a little bit of help practicing consistency, you want to work on that hip mobility on those side splits, make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back. We're live every day at 9 p.m. Eastern. And with that, spiel over. Let's get into the second warm-up exercise. We are getting to a nice fold here at the hips, trying to get into this L shape. If you're stuck a little bit higher up, you can't get quite as low. That's totally fine. It is part of the process. While you're here, you might start feeling a whole bunch of tension in the low back, especially if you have low back pain already. And that is a good sign to just chill. Breathe, relax, and keep chilling. Keep breathing. When the tension in your back starts going away, starts relaxing, and you're starting to feel it mostly in your hamstrings, it's time to add some movement in. All right? I want you to bend one knee and straighten out the other leg. From here, I want you to focus on bringing that belly button down as low as you can. You're going to feel the hamstrings tighten up. It's going to get real intense. You might feel the tension here just underneath your glutes, and that is okay. That is right. Keep on switching the leg that's bent and switch from side to side. Ooh. This might feel really intense, and that is the point. Keep on switching back and forth. Remember how uncomfortable this is. No. Now, I'm busy. Stop it. This is not going to be a very effective stretch if I can't put my head down. Keep on switching from side to side and continue. Switch. You might feel a little bit of tingliness in your calves and in your toes. That is often called nerve stretching or nerve flossing, and that is a normal sensation when you're working on a deep hamstring stretch. Keep going until suddenly you realize, hey, this started pretty rough, but it's not so bad. And you can start thinking about trying to bring that belly button even deeper down into the ground, into a deeper stretch. And now your hamstrings are upset at you again, and that is part of the plan. Breathe. Keep on switching. Feel that hamstring stretch out. And we're done. Pop into a little bit of a squat. Come back up into standing. When you spend a lot of time forward folded like that, it tends to be the case that your back does too much relaxing. And then if you come back up into standing immediately, your back is not going to be ready to fire all those stabilizing muscles in your spine. So when you pop into a little bit of a squat in advance, it gives it a couple of seconds to get ready to turn on the back muscles. All right? And that is warm-up exercise number 2. We are going to add a little bit of movement for the spine in that position. These are called thoracic rotations. And what I want you to do is to get back into that position. We're going to bend one knee. We're going to straighten out the other leg. You should probably keep your legs relatively close together while you fold your belly button down into the ground. When you're here in this position, I want to take the arm from the bent leg side. I want you to reach across the body, push against the outside shin of the straight leg, and open up that chest. Rotate the spine. Extend the other arm that is not doing anything at the moment. Reach behind and over your shoulder. Look at that hand so that your neck is also getting involved in that rotation. And When you've reached as far back as you think you can reach, I want you to take a small inhale and exhale. On the exhale, see if you can open up just a little bit further. And that is half of a rep. We're going to finish the other side, and that'll be rep number 1. We're doing 5 of these in total, so let's go. We're switching the leg that's bent, reaching across the body. Open up that chest. Look at the hand. Breathe. Exhale and open up some more. Exhale. Open up some more. And that is 1 rep. We're doing 4 more. Let's go. Reach across. Open. Breathe. Reach. Breathe. And down. Other side. Oof. Oh, down, other side, that's 2. We got 3 more. Open, 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 breathe. And down. Open, 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 and breathe. And down. 2 more. Open, breathe. I talk fast. You don't have to move as fast. Usually, there will be plenty of time in between the exercises for you to catch up if you need to pause for a second. And you can always slow down the pace to make it a little bit more comfortable for yourself, especially in these more intense stretches. Whew. I believe that is 5. And I'm not going to dwell on it. We're going to pretend that's 5 if it's not 5. That is some thoracic rotation. If your shoulders are feeling tired after that, that's okay. That's pretty much all that we do for your shoulders anyway. So we're ready to move on into the 3rd and final warm-up exercise. It's called the Cossack switch. The Cossack switch looks a little bit like this. We're dropping down to one side, sinking into a deep squat on one side. The other leg is extended. We're going to scoot our butts over to the other side. We're going to get low, compact, squish, feel that stretch. We're going to come back. And that is 1 rep. It's going to be really hard to get into this right off the bat. So what I want you to do is actually pop into a bit of a squat first. I want you to pull your knees in towards your chest. I want you to lean a little bit forward so that you're putting a little bit of a stretch here on the Achilles tendon into the calves, feeling that ankle flex for just a second before we get into the Cossack switch. All right, when you're here in this position and you're able to balance comfortably, I want you to add a little bit of movement. Lean from side to side, work those hips just a little bit. From side to side. The reason for this is because we're going to be moving for the Cossack switch, and the more you prepare, the easier it will be, the deeper you can get in just a second. Okay, I think that's it. If you're still holding your knees, hugging them to your chest, put your hands straight down into the ground, extend one leg out to the side, and let's begin some Cossack switches. I want you to focus on getting this heel down on the ground. What we're going to be doing is a lot of movement. It requires a lot of balance, so we want to stay stable. One of the easiest ways to add some stability is to keep the heel down on the ground. All right? From here, you might have a lot of flexibility, in which case you can get really low, get really compact, get squished down into the ground. If you can, great, get low. For a lot of us, you're going to be a bit higher up, and that's absolutely fine. It's part of the process. What I want you to do, and what I want you to focus on once you have your heel down, is scooting your butt over to the other side. If you need a little bit of assistance, use your hands. This will help with both balance and how much strength is required to get to the other side. All right, come over and back. And that is about enough information to get us started. So if you haven't already, let's go. We're doing 10 reps in total. Put your hands down, scoot your butt over to the other side, pause, squish deeper, and come back. Squish deeper and come back. And squish deeper and come back. I think this is 2 since we started. Squish and come back. That's 3. If these are feeling pretty easy and you're like, I don't need my hands, that's all right. Go ahead. Stop using your hands. You can keep on leaning forward for the moment as if you were using your hands. That's so you don't have to relearn how to balance while working on these. And I think this is number 5. If you're feeling really strong and you want to keep going, I recommend you try to sit up a little straighter, extend your arms out in front of you, and change the form a little bit. It's going to shift your weight. It's going to shift the balance just a little bit. So don't worry about that. This is number 8. And the dog wants back in after I've closed the door. So I'm about to let it in so it doesn't whine and scratch at the door. But if it stops scratching, then maybe I won't. All right, I'm pretty sure that's 10 Cossack switches from the left to the right. And we are done with the Cossack switches. The Cossack switches are our final warm-up exercise. And so what I want you to do is chill. I want you to relax for a second. And I want you to waddle around a little bit like a penguin. Shake out your legs, shake out your hips. If the sound of the last warm-up exercise sounds intimidating, don't be intimidated. This is a stretching show. We are warming up, preparing our hips, preparing our muscles, preparing our joints so we can get the most out of our stretches. It's not because we're going to do 100 more reps of squats or anything like that. All right? I'm going to check the chat real quick and we will continue. Oh, hi. Hello. I know my hands are free and available all of a sudden. I'm low to the ground. Therefore, it must be time to scratch you. All right. Let's see. Angie from YouTube says, hello. Hello. Queen IR says, your dog is so cute. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to scroll over. Che responding to Josh says, good question. I think it's different for everyone. And, hold on. Ken can give us some tips. Let's see. Where's Josh's comment? Scrolling. Che, thank you for highlighting it, by the way. Oh, no. Dog, what have you been doing? Oh, gosh. Oh, are you dusty? Josh asks, is it normal to be sore the next day after stretching? Yes, it is. And it is totally normal. Totally normal. If you're doing a very intense set of stretches, very normal. If you're starting a stretch for the first time, if you've taken a couple of days off and you're getting back into it, it's totally normal for it to be quite intense and for you to be sore. If you felt like you just got deeper in any number of stretches, like we do a bunch, right? If you felt like one of the last day or two, you went really deep on stretch number 3, the pancake or something, and all of a sudden the next day you're feeling sore, that is also normal. When you're putting new demands on your muscles and training them more intensely, it's totally normal for it to be sore. So it is normal. And if you're doing the live every single day and actually here every single day without taking any rest days, it could be that you're building up a lot of stretching, a lot of time in the stretch, and you might just need to take a day off, and that might help relieve some soreness. If I don't sleep well a couple of days in a row because of whatever reason, traveling, stress, trying to navigate something crazy in my personal life, then I will also suddenly start becoming a lot more sore. Even though I do this stretch every single day, or I run this show every single day, some days I'll be way more sore than others. And sometimes it's because I've gotten some magic progress that suddenly appears and I go, oh snap, this is crazy. And then I'll suffer the consequences for it later. Or it could just be lack of recovery. So you can do a combination of things. You can stretch less intensely today. You can make an effort, make a point to sleep a little bit more, to eat well, hydrate even, and see if that helps with the soreness. All right. With that, I think we should get into stretching. The first stretch we're going to do is a hamstring stretch, and it looks a little bit like this. We're going to drop down onto one knee and extend a leg out in front of us. The dog has somehow decided to be perfectly in front of the camera, so I guess I will have to accommodate and do this at an angle. From here, I want you to keep your hips squared, right next to each other. I don't want you to extend one leg way far out in front like you're doing a front split, so that you're starting to rotate, all right? Oh yeah, okay, it's kind of visible. Cool. So from here, we're focusing on bringing the belly button down to the thigh, and we are folding forward, like so. All right, that's the stretch. I'm gonna rotate around so you don't have to stare at my head, and I'm gonna rotate around so that I don't have to stare at my dog scratching its head. But I don't know how long that's gonna be able to last. From here, we're gonna start getting to this hamstring stretch. If you have a leg that you know is less flexible than the other, you can start with that one because I explain a little bit more on the first go around on the first leg. All right, so drop that knee down. Square up your hips so that the left side and the right side are in a straight line right in front of you. Extend one leg out in front. Widen the stance for balance if you need it. If you don't need it, you can keep the stance pretty narrow. Focus on the belly button. Bring it down into the ground. Breathe. Relax. And we're ready to begin. From here, I want you to focus on relaxing the hamstrings, relaxing these glutes, relaxing even the calves and the toes, and focus on folding forward. Stop it. Go away. I'm busy. From here, keep on breathing like normal. Relax, chill, and exhale. Relax into a deeper stretch. And then we're going to add in an inhale, exhale, and intense folding. All right? What I want you to do on the inhale is I want you to take a big breath in. But I don't want you to take such a big breath that you suddenly inflate like a balloon. All right? We want you to stay mostly in the same spot as you take that big breath in. Inhale. From here, I want you to exhale slowly and fold. Bring that belly button down deeper into the stretch. Oh, now you're in deep stretch. Now your hamstrings are really crying, and I want you to breathe. Chill, relax, maybe stick your fingers into your hamstrings, massage those muscles, and give yourself a second to work those muscles. Breathe. From here, we're going to do one more inhale, exhale, fold. You ready? Inhale, take that big breath in without inflating like a balloon. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Now your hamstrings are really, 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 really sad. And they're tired. They're screaming at you, and it's okay. Relax the calves as best as you can. Relax the hamstrings as much as, whatever you can get out of this at this point. Let the glutes relax and keep on breathing like normal. This is our stretched out position. We are starting 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. Keep on trying to bring that belly button down to the leg. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our hamstring stretch. And somehow in the middle of this stretch, the dog gave up, got chill, calmed out, and we can continue without distraction. All right, let's continue. We're going to switch over to the other side. Again, one knee is down on the ground. Feel free to use some padding, use a little bit of support. I usually give us a second and I call out some things to go grab it, but I got distracted by the dog and completely forgot. That's my bad. From here, your leg is out, extended in front of you. We're folding the hips, folding the belly button down towards the ground. You're feeling that hamstring stretch building. Remember to keep breathing. Do not hold your breath. That will not help. Relax. Relax those muscles. Relax the toes, relax the feet, relax the calves, relax the hamstrings, however much those will relax, and relax the glutes. And the low back, too, if you can. From here, we're going to inhale, exhale, fold. You ready? Inhale. Exhale and fold. We're in a deeper stretch now. Massage those hamstring muscles, distract yourself from the sensations, and breathe as your body adjusts to this new position, this new intensity. Keep on trying to imagine that all those muscles are relaxing. Whether or not they actually relax, that's not the point. I just want you to imagine that they are, okay? From here, we're going to do one last inhale, exhale, fold, and we're ready with our 30 seconds. Inhale, exhale, and fold. All right, that's it. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21. Keep on breathing. Do not hold your breath. Massage those muscles. Squeeze them, poke them. Distract your brain from how intense this stretch feels by just messing around, poking your hamstrings, all right? 17, 16, 15, 14. Keep on breathing. Imagine relaxing. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, that's our hamstring stretch. Come on out of it. Breathe, relax, and embrace the struggle. Okay, that is our first stretch. We're going to move right on into our second one, and it's called the butterfly stretch. That cushion that you were using for your knee, you don't need it anymore. You can throw it off to the side. I usually throw it that way, but that is where the dog is, so I cannot. It's going to have to find a new home. I'll be learning new muscle memory and new tricks, but my dog won't. And that is how we're going to get into the second stretch. I want you to rest your shoulders, your back, your butt up against a wall, okay? When we do this, the wall is going to give us support. It's going to help us sit up straight so that we can focus on the most important part of this stretch, which is the groin stretch right here in the center of the legs. That is not what I intended to do. This is going to make things a little bit more difficult. Okay. From here, we're going to bring our feet in towards the center of our body. And hopefully, I'll squeeze the dog just enough that he'll go away. But maybe he won't. Oh, he's getting distracted? Yes, perfect. Okay. From here, with your feet together, I want you to focus on bringing your knees down into the ground. That's how we get this groin stretch. All right? I want you to use your muscles. I want you to use your outer thigh muscles. I want you to use your glutes. Pull! Open your legs. Bring them down into the ground. If you need to, you can lean back against the wall a little bit. While you do that, work those muscles. When your knees cannot go any further into the ground, it's time to add a little bit of hand action, all right? What we want to do is place our hands just below the knee and push straight down. Breathe. Imagine that you're relaxing deeper into the stretch. And that's it. If you're feeling a whole bunch of pressure in the back of your head, in the tops of your shoulders, that's because your arms are pushing your legs down, and they're also, by default, pushing your shoulders back. But we have a wall here, so you're just pushing your shoulders into the wall, and that's what that discomfort is. It's all good. 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27. Keep on contracting those muscles in your outer thighs, in your glutes. Pull those knees down into the ground with your muscle power, not just your hands pushing them down. And experiment. Relax, contract, relax, contract. Use your muscles. Don't use your muscles. Chill and see how it goes. All right? I forgot to count. Did I start counting? 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, that is it. Let your hands go first. Oh, if you want, you can also let your muscles go and shake those hips out. Give them a little bit of movement. If your hips were feeling pretty stuck and they're not moving very well right now, you can take your hands, give them a little bit of a shake, a little bit of a wiggle, and that should help wake them up so you can flap the wings of this butterfly and prepare for our third stretch. We're going to move on into some pancakes, all right? I recommend, in general, the standing pancake because we get to build up some strength in the inner thighs while we stretch them out. So come on up into standing and get ready to stretch. Shake out the hips, do a little dance, work those hips. Let's go. Ugh. And what I want you to do is I want you to open up those legs decently wide. Doesn't have to be crazy. You don't have to get to 180 degrees. We're not getting into the split right now, but I do want you to open up the legs. If you need to aim for a specific number because that's the type of personality that you have, you can aim for 90 degrees to start. All right? Boom. 90-ish. From here, we're going to fold the belly button down into the ground. Fold, 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 fold. Here is our starting position. From the side, it's going to look a little bit like this. Okay? If it looks like how we started the elephant walk, you're absolutely right. It's basically the same thing. From here, when you're folded forward, it's going to open up some space for your legs to get into a deeper stretch. All right? And what I want you to do is see if you can go a little further. Deeper into the stretch. Deeper. Deeper, deeper, deeper. And from here, I want you to focus on bringing that belly button down as low as you can go. All right? That's the whole point of the pancake, is to fold the belly button down. Down, 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 down. And it's going to be really hard. It's a really intense stretch. So we want to use gravity and have gravity help us out as much as possible. The way to get gravity to help out as much as possible is to get this upper body as close to horizontal as possible. All right? And the other thing you can do is lengthen the lever. If you extend your arms past your head so that your biceps are by your ears, that will make this way harder. And it's also going to hurt more. So you can decide how intense you want to make this stretch. We are folding forward. Let's go. Fold, 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 fold. Breathe. Relax. Fold, 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 fold. Breathe. Relax. I'm going to try my best to ignore the doggy so that he doesn't learn to get pets whenever I'm stretching. So if it seems like I'm being mean to the dog, I'm just trying to teach him that this is not the time to get attention, okay? Whew. Let's go. 30 seconds, 30. 29. 28, and it seems like it's working because he just sat down. 27. 26. 25. 24. 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18. And if you're wondering, no, I do not recommend you stretch with the dog around. I don't think you'll get into a deeper stretch most of the time. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our pancake. Put your hands down. Come on back up. If you need to, you'll probably want to try to bring your toes in, and then your heels in, and then your toes in, and then your heels in, and then your toes in, and then your heels in, until you get back into something resembling a standing position. This might take a little bit of time. Oh. You might need a grunt, you might need a groan, you might need to take a second to come on out of that stretch. And that's because the pancake is really hard. You probably felt a crazy stretch here on the inside of your thighs. You also probably felt a crazy stretch in your hamstrings, depending on how far forward you ended up folding. And when we hold that position with a deep open leg, it's going to be really intense. So, if you're suffering a little bit right now, that's okay. That's normal. We're going to do a little wiggle. We're going to do a little squirming. We're going to do a little shaking. We're going to do a little waddling like penguins as we try to get some normal leg function back. And we're going to get into our fourth stretch. I'm pretty sure last night we did the figure 4, so it's time for some pigeon stretch. Either way, you can do whatever one that you like. I'm going to demonstrate the pigeon, all right? What I want you to do is something that looks like this. So bring the ankle up to just above the knee here. We're going to grab that leg, pull it up. We're going to focus on bringing the belly button down to the leg, all right? When we're in this general position, we want to start feeling the stretch here in the outside of the glute and the outside of the hips. And you might also feel a bit of a stretch here in the hamstrings, in the adductors, the inner thighs, and in the hip flexors, all right? Those are all normal. Let's get into the pigeon. I need to prepare a stool. So I'm going to confuse the heck out of the dog, make some noises, and scare him. Hey, what are you doing? All right, for the pigeon, we are going to drop down so that one leg is on the ground like so. It's going to make this thing that looks kind of like a 90-degree angle, all right? And from here, we're going to fold the midpoint of our chest down towards the leg. And it's going to look a little bit like this. Oh! And we are ready to stretch. That's basically the pigeon. And, that's a perfectly good pigeon to start. But we can make this a little bit more advanced. If you want, you can extend this leg back behind you and get into a stretch like this. When you extend the leg back behind you, you're going to feel more of a stretch here in your hip flexors. If you're not quite ready for that stretch and not ready for that amount of stretch, you got two options. You can not sit up this straight. You can focus on folding forward. And if you're folded forward, there'll be less of a stretch here in the hip flexor. You'll be able to stick that leg behind you a little bit more easily. Luckily, the whole point of this whole entire thing is to fold your belly button down to that other leg that's crossed over. And so, if you can focus on that, that's a great way to get that leg back behind you. But if that's not enough, if you're not flexible enough, you need a little bit more help, you can elevate the front leg by sticking your leg on something so that you elevate your hips, all right? When your hips are higher up off the ground, your leg has more room to hang out back behind you, and you're able to continue in that pigeon stretch, and get all of the stretch with the leg behind you. So those are your two options. Use a stool, elevate the front leg. You can also use a couch, you can use a bed, you can use a chair. It does not have to be that particular school. Could be a couple of yoga blocks, just anything that's stable. You don't want anything that's floppy and can elevate your legs. Okay? That is the whole spiel. Let's get into some pigeon. Again, leg is coming across the body. We're trying to get the midpoint of the chest basically to line up with the midpoint in between the knee and the ankle. This is not the only way, but it is a good starting point for you to experiment with. Extend that leg back behind you. Breathe. Inhale, exhale. Relax, fold. Feel that stretch in your glutes, in your hamstrings. Exhale some more, relax, get into a deeper stretch, and we're ready. 30 seconds, 30, 29, 28, 27, 26. After that sneeze, my nose is a little stuffy. It's going to be a little hard to breathe. 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. Keep on trying to relax as you get into a deeper stretch. Every inhale, exhale. When you exhale, squish yourself deeper into the stretch. 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, that is our pigeon stretch. Whew, that's one side. We got one more. Let's do the same on the other side. Again, we're bringing the leg across the body. Bring that knee down. Drop the hip as low as it can go. Extend the leg back behind us. Fold forward. Ooh, ho, 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 ho. Ah, breathe. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Relax. Chill. Breathe. 30 seconds. Let's go. 30. 29. 28. 27. 26. 25. 24. 23. 22. 21. 20. 19. 18. 17. 16. 15. 14. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Keep on relaxing. Feel that stretch building in your glutes. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our pigeon stretch. Slowly crawl out of that stretch. Come on back into something that resembles standing-ish. And we're about ready to get into our side splits. We just did 4 of our 5 stretches. The 5th stretch that we're going to do the side splits are because we're doing it 3 rounds, is because it's just one type of stretch. And we're doing 3 rounds of 30 seconds. In between each of those rounds, we're going to get up. We're going to shake out our limbs, mostly our legs, to help relax the muscles as much as possible so that we can get into a better, deeper second split, third split. If you're intimidated by the idea of doing splits, don't. We explain everything as we go. And I'll break it down because I can't do the splits either. So we're just building up slowly to it. All right, let's go. First thing we're going to talk about, actually, before we jump into the splits, is safety. I want you to stand 8 to 12 inches in front of a wall. So that's about a footstep and a half for most people. And what I want you to do is stay there the whole entire time. Because at some point, inevitably, while we're doing the side splits, you're going to be trying to figure out how to balance. You're going to be trying to figure out how to get into position. You're going to try to figure out how to get deeper into the stretch. And it's very likely that you'll lean just a little bit too far back. You'll lose balance. You'll be like, no, swim through the air. And as you fall backwards, you'll realize, oh, hey, look, standing 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall means my butt will fall into the wall and I won't continue falling into the floor. So that's what we want. Stand close enough so that if you do lose balance, you start falling backwards, the wall is right there to catch you and it's nice and gentle. Everything is cool so that, whoa, this is unexpected. Hi, hello. So that we can make sure that we stay in safe positions. All right. So from here, come back up into standing and let's get into some side splits. I want you to open up your legs decently wide. As wide as comfortable. If you're feeling discomfort in the hips, you're feeling a pinching sensation here, you've gone too far, bring your legs in just a little bit. All right. So once you're here, focus on that belly button. We are folded, bring it down into the ground. When you're in this position, it's going to look just like how we were when we were doing the standing pancake, right? Perfect. From here, I want you to try your best to put your hands down. If you cannot get your hands down on the ground, you can use a yoga block. Elevate your hands a little bit. You can get a stool. Elevate a little bit more. You can also use a chair if you need to. Elevate even more than that. From here, with your hands down on whatever it needs to be down on, I want you to do the most important part of this whole entire life. I want you to rotate this leg. All right. So far, our feet are flat down on the ground. But what we want to do is rotate the whole entire leg back about 90 degrees. And it's going to look a little bit like this. Watch the feet. Whoosh, boom. Like magic. The heel is down, the toes are up, the knees are pointing up, the quad muscles are pointing up. This is called external rotation. We're rotating the leg to the outside of the body. And we need to do this so that the thigh bone and some of its lumpiness does not smash into our pelvis. Once we've rotated it, it becomes just the muscles that are holding us back and not the bones. So now it's time to suffer. Come on, sit back. Okay, also, by the way, do your other leg. Don't just rotate one leg. We gotta rotate both. I'm too close to the camera for you to see the rotation, but that does not mean it didn't happen. Whew. Sit back, relax, breathe. Put some weight into your hands. Do a little shake. Do a little wiggle. Squirm from side to side. See if you can break the friction holding your feet back. Get into a deeper stretch. And that is how we get into our side splits. This is it. You're here. This is it. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30. 29. 28. 27. 26. If you walk your hands forward a little bit, you're going to feel more of a stretch here in the front of the leg, I guess in the inside of the leg, in the adductors. If you walk your hands back a little bit more, you're going to feel it more in your hamstrings. You need both to get into a full side split, so you can feel free to experiment and take your time with these positions. Oh, breathe. I forgot to count. 15. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. Walk your hands forward. Bring your legs in. Oh, come back into something that maybe is like a kneeling position. If your knees don't like that, you can sit down if you'd like. Oh man. Breathe. And when you're ready, come back into standing. We are going to do some shaking and some wiggling, some squirming, relaxing our muscles. All right. What I want you to do once you're finally standing is I want you to imagine you're flicking water off of your toes. You stepped in a puddle. You're trying to dry off your foot. I want you to imagine you're shaking off that leg. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. I want your ankles to be relaxed. So they're kind of just going and flopping around. All right. For your ankles to do that, your calves have to also be relaxed. If they were super tense, your ankles would not move freely. All right. So relax the calves, relax the ankles, shake out that leg. And as you shake, drop the knee down, relax the leg, flop, 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 flop. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Shake, 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 shake. And we're ready to move on. Other side. Flick that leg out. Flick the water off of that foot. And relax. Drop the knee. Pick up the tempo of that ankle floppiness. And let that calf relax. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. And that should be pretty good. You really only need 5 to 10 seconds on each leg. We do plenty of it during the live, so you don't have to worry about doing enough. Cool? Next up, we're going to work on the hips a little bit. What I want you to do is put all your weight into one leg. I want you to put the big toe down to anchor your foot a little bit. All right? Anchor your leg. From here, we're going to rotate this thigh bone in the hip socket and get the knee to go in and out. And out, and in, and out, and in, and out, and in, and out, and in, and out, and in. As you get more comfortable with this, notice that the rest of the body is not moving. It's just this leg where it connects to your hip. All right? It's the only thing that's moving. And when you get more comfortable, you can pick up the speed, you can pick up the tempo, you can do this fast, you can turn it into a dance move. You can do some stanky leg. Other side. Balancing all your weight in one leg. Putting just the big toe down on the ground, rotating the leg in, out, in, out, in, out. I always say it in reverse. Out, in, out, in, out, in, out, out. Blah, blah, blah. As soon as I think about it, I can't do it. All right, you know what we're talking about. In and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Pick up the pace, get faster, get smoother, and of course, add in that stanky leg. If you want, you can combine both of them and do them at the same time. It's not quite the same, but it is more fun. And Our legs should be pretty relaxed. Our hips should be pretty relaxed. It's time to get into side split number 2. Let's go. Stand 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall so that if you start falling backwards just a little bit, your butt will rest on the wall and everything will be good. Everything will be safe. We're going to open up those legs. Chill. Breathe. And just hang out as the legs open up. If your hips are starting to feel a little bit of discomfort right here, there's a pinching sensation, you've gone too far, bring your legs together just a little bit, and we're ready to fold. Focus on that belly button. Focus on bringing it down into the ground. Fold, 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 fold. Put your hands down on the ground, or on a yoga block, or on a stool, whatever you need to in order to get into a comfortable, stable position. And we're going to externally rotate our legs. I'm going to bring my legs really close together to show you that both legs are externally rotating. I do not recommend that you do this from this high. I recommend that you keep as low as you can with your hands on the ground. All right? So from here, we're taking our feet, which are flat on the ground. We are going to rotate them backwards. So it looks like this. Whoop. Our heels are down, our toes are pointing up, our knees are pointing up. And I'm going to let this leg slide out way over there so that I get into a deep stretch position. And boom, we are here. Again, knees are pointing up, toes are pointing up, heels are down. Let the legs open up. The reason for the external rotation of the leg is to make sure the bones don't smash into each other and cause some pain that way, but it does not help you with your stretching of the muscles in your hips and in your legs. So that's what we're doing. That's all we got left. Do a little wiggle from side to side. See if you can break the friction holding your feet back right now. Oh, just get a little bit more. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Squirm. And we're about ready. 30 seconds. Let's go. 30. 29. 28, 27, 26, 25. If this whole time you've been locking out your elbows, I want you to experiment with bending the elbows just a little bit and leaning forward. You might notice suddenly that the stretch feels way more intense. 20, 19, 18, 17. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. 15, 14, 13. If you've been flexing your feet hard, you've been flexing a whole bunch of muscles, remember the stretch is about relaxing and trying to lengthen the muscles. The more you contract your muscles, the less relaxing and lengthening you're experiencing. All right, so relax, breathe, exhale, sink into it. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. Walk your hands forward. Oh, pull your legs in underneath you. Oh, grunt, groan. Make as many sound effects as you need to. And once you're kneeling again, breathe, chill. We just finished our second side split. We got one last side split. That means it's time to shake out our legs, shake out the tension. All right? Come back into standing and let's shake out the legs. Put most of your weight onto one leg. Start flicking the water off of your toes. The goal is to relax the ankle, relax the calves, relax the leg, and pick up the tempo of that shake. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. If you want this time around, you can start adding in a little bit of movement. We were working on that rotation over here in that next stretch. If you combine that with your ankles flopping around a little bit, have some sort of hodgepodge in between movement. And that works. As long as your legs and your muscles in the legs are relaxing, that's all that matters. All right, other side. Shake out the leg. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. Relax. And, hopefully your legs are relaxed. Let's do a little bit for the hips. Same as before, all of your weight is on one leg. The big toe is down. There's almost no weight in that toe, by the way. And we're externally rotating, internally rotating. And bring that leg in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out. Nothing else in the body is moving. It's just where this thigh bone connects to the hip that is moving in and out. And keep going. Switch to the other side. All the weight is in one leg. Big toe is down. Rotate in, out, 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 in, out. And that is some relaxation for the hips. All right, I think it's time. Let's get into side split number 3. Let's go. Stand 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall so that if you fall backwards, the wall will catch you. Open up those legs decently wide. Breathe. Relax. See if you can get just a little bit deeper. If you're feeling discomfort here at the hips, you're feeling a pinching sensation, you've gone too far, bring your legs back in just a little bit and focus on folding forward at the hips. Bring that belly button down into the ground. This is the most important part. Put your hands down. You can use yoga block. You can use a stool if you need it. And we're going to externally rotate the legs. What that means is we are going to take this position where the foot are flat on the ground, and we're going to rotate the leg backwards so that the heel is down, the toes are up, and the knees are pointing up. Again, this rotates the thigh bone so it does not smash into your pelvis, into your hip bones, and helps you get into this position pain-free. I mean, as pain-free as your bones not smashing into each other is going to be, and as pain-free as your muscles are crying and unhappy with you pain-free can be, right? So, breathe, chill, relax, hang out, and keep on relaxing as much as you can in this position. If you feel like you're way higher off the ground and you're like, this doesn't work, this is crazy, what are you talking about? I promise it works. I've been doing this exact setup for months and months and months, and we have this on recording back in the days of when I used to do the live on Instagram, where I was way higher off the ground. All right? So, believe in the process. Breathe, relax, chill out, and 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27. Again, relax, breathe, let the calves go. Don't flex those feet. Relax, relax, relax. Hamstrings, glutes. Chill out. 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12. Again, if your arms are locked out, bend them at the elbow. See if you can get into a deeper, more intense stretch. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. Oh, walk your hands forward. Pull your legs in underneath you. Grunt, groan, make as many sound effects as you need to. And that is our third and final side split. We're going to come back up into standing. Real quick, shake out the legs. One last time, we're going to do a couple of joint checks and we'll be ready to wrap up, and I'll spend some time looking at the chat answering questions. So if you have any, prepare to write them down and send them my way. Let's go. We're shaking out the legs. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. If you have not done anything for your arms, add them in. Wiggle, 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 shake, 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 shake. Usually your wrists are a little bit more fragile, so maybe don't whip those around super hard. But your elbows are pretty good at turning into propellers and doing fun stuff. Switch to the other side while you're shaking the legs. Don't get super distracted with figuring out all this new stuff while you're multitasking, such that you forget we're shaking out the legs, and that's the most important part. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. And that should be enough. Let's continue with a little bit of action for those hips. Pull all your weight into one leg. Drop the big toe down on the ground. Rotate the legs in and out, just loosening up the hips, getting some movement, and do the other side. As you get more comfortable, you get more advanced with this movement, and you start mastering these muscles here in the hip that rotate the leg for you, you can start doing kind of cool things like shaking the leg so fast, so intensely, the whole entire quad muscle is going, and you look like your leg is made of jello. That is a really quick way to make your leg a little itchy, and also to make your whole entire leg be very relaxed. So try that, see if you can add it in, and of course, you can never go wrong with a little bit of stanky leg. All right, make it fun, make it enjoyable. It'll be a lot easier to keep up and stay consistent. At the end of the day, we care most about consistency. So if you add in a little bit of something, make it fun, make it entertaining, make it pleasing to yourself while we suffer on the floor every single day, then that's a great place to be. Make it fun. Cool. I think we just relaxed the legs, so let's do a couple of joint checks and get ready to wrap up. I'm going to solve a puzzle real quick over here on TikTok because TikTok thinks I'm a bot for talking for so long, and I failed the puzzle. Give me a second, one more try. Boom. Okay, puzzle completed. We're going to do some joint checks. What I want you to do is some hip circles. Oh, slowly lean into that stretch. Oh, work your way all the way around. I feel it the most here in the left and right side of the hips. Occasionally, on some days when my back is killing me, I'll feel it in the low back as well. And spend a couple seconds here. Explore, feel what feels bad. Then give what feels bad a little bit of attention. Oh, yeah, that is intense. Whew. What about the other side? Not as bad. Okay, spend some time on that left and right side. If you want, you can turn this into a total oblique stretch too. Lean over, breathe, and hopefully you've tackled whatever needs tackling, whether it's your low back, your hips, your sides of the hips, or even the hip flexors out in the front. From here, I'm going to raise each of those knees one at a time just to make sure the hip flexors can fire and pull those legs up. Then we're going to get into a squat and do some crazy calf raises. Okay? What I want you to do is keep your feet pretty close together. A little less than hips width, or hips width is good. And I want you to pop into a squat where you're leaned really far forward. Your chest is coming down towards your knees. All right? Next, I want you to try your best to push your knees in front of your toes. It's okay if you can't get this perfect, if it doesn't look perfectly like mine. I just want you to try to get those two things. Chest to knees, knees way past your toes. Okay? From here, your feet, your toes should be working really hard, trying to keep you balanced. And that is what we want. When your toes are engaged, your feet are going to get engaged. They're going to be super strong, gripping your ground. And from here, I want you to do a couple of quick calf raises. Okay? Bring those heels up. Bring them up, 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 up. Try to balance your weight between your big toe and your pinky toe. Come on down. If you're feeling a little off balance, you can put your hands down just a little bit to assist. You can just do 3 or 4. When you are in this position, and you've done those calf stretches, or calf raises, you can come on out of that. When you're in that position, your toes are working real hard. We cover that. Your toes are making your feet work really hard. Your Achilles tendon is getting a nice stretch when your knee comes forward. Your calves should be nice and tense, working real hard. You can poke yourself in the calf next time to double check that that's the case. Your quads were probably crying and asking you to stop long ago. That's good. And we were folding at the hips. You might have even been feeling a little bit of tension here in the low back. What we just did, forced basically all of the muscles and all of the joints below your, belt, below your hips to work well together, force them to coordinate and get a little bit of movement done. So chances are, if you're able to pull that off, you are in good shape and we're ready to wrap up for the day. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming in, practicing a little bit of consistency while we worked on our hip mobility, worked on our side split stuff. I hope you had fun. If you're joining in for the first time, we just did 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching, and we do this every day at 9 p.m. Eastern. Our most important quality is consistency. We keep on trying to be here doing a very similar workout every single day, so you don't have to think too much. You don't have to be mentally super engaged. You just put it in the reps, taking care of the things that you got to take care of. So if you need a little bit of help practicing consistency, you want some other people to stretch with, you want a little bit more entertainment while you suffer on the floor going, oh, this is where you should be at 9 p.m. Make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe, keep going back, and hopefully we'll make a whole bunch of progress in our side splits, in our hip mobility, in better movement. Okay, that is the spiel. I think I'm gonna look at the chat now because it's been a while, and then we'll see what happens after that. Over on YouTube, nothing much going on. Cool, cool, cool. That's easy enough. Now I'm gonna scroll down on TikTok because I have 99 plus new messages apparently to review. Let's go. Josh Tree asks, can you do the side splits from the side so we can see a different angle? Absolutely. Linda says thank you, and I have accidentally scrolled all the way to the bottom. I'll absolutely do the side splits from a different angle so you can see it from the side. Give me just a second. I'm going to scroll a little bit more to see if there's anything else I can tackle at the same exact time. Ooh, Ruin sent like 20 roses. Thank you. I'm going to scroll some more. Hold on. I don't know what that means. Keep on scrolling. Scroll. And I've scrolled for a while, so I think we'll just get into some sideways side splits. Ing says, Ken, you're an awesome person and you inspire me. Amazing. Thank you. That's so nice. Actually, I'm going to take a screenshot. I saw an influencer the other day say basically that, you know, when you're public doing stuff, you get a lot of hate, right? Whether it's intentionally negative or just general negative people commenting sad things. You get a lot of unhappy things. But compliments like that are super valuable and I appreciate it. So I try to take a screenshot when I remember so that, I don't know, I haven't done it yet. I haven't had anything particularly negative come in. But if they did and I was having a bad day, I'd be able to go look at that and be like, hey, look, somebody likes me. That's mostly a joke, but you know, the positive reinforcement is good. All right, side splits. From a sideways perspective. How would I even talk about this? I'm going to try and talk about the exact same way we usually set it up, and I'll slowly eke my body into the other direction. All right, so we're demonstrating a side split from the side instead of from the front like usual. We are chilling, hanging out, letting the hips open up, right? And we are folding, bring that belly button down into the ground, putting the hands down, right? Our feet are still flat on the ground, like so. We're going to externally rotate them so that the knees are pointing up, the toes are pointing up. We're going to do that on both sides. Right now, it should look a little bit like I'm doing a pancake because my hands are down on the ground. I'm folding forward a little bit. And when I talk about putting your hands forward and feeling the stretch more in the inner thigh muscles, usually it's at this angle. When I talk about putting your hands back so you're feeling it more in your hamstrings, is usually at this angle. So that most of that stretch is going straight down into the ground. The further you put your hands back, the more your body weight is right over your legs, and that is going to shift the intensity of the stretch and which muscles it's going to be on. When I say do a little wiggle from side to side, I guess from the side it looks a little bit like this. I mostly just shift my torso from side to side and hopefully the toes and feet go with it. Is there anything else? I'm trying to think. No, I think that's it. That's everything. Ooh, that is our side split from the side. Oh, oh man, landing on the butt was kind of loud. That was unexpected. I thought it was really close to the ground, so I was like, oh, this will be the easiest way to get it. Okay, I'm gonna scroll some more. Check out. Ooh. Okay, I think the YouTube phone, the microphone just died, ran out of battery. So if you have been not hearing anything at all and just confused, that is totally what just happened. My bad. Still hear you. But now that I have removed the microphone, you should be able to hear. All right, let's see. I am scrolling. Nietzsche says, bless you. Oh, thank you. Oh, wait, I sneezed. Yes, bless me. I was like, that's unexpected. I think that is most of the chat from earlier. I just saw a question that I answered already about feeling sore after stretching. And the quick summary is, if you feel sore after stretching, that is totally normal. The more intense that stretching, the more likely you will be sore soon after. And it's just like exercising, right? If you try to do an exercise you've never done before, even if it's not that intense, it's not that hard an exercise, just because you haven't used your muscles quite that way before, it can make you really sore. And that is normal. What else about soreness did I talk about? If you are doing the live every single day, like I do, it's also possible for you to get sore if you're not recovering fast enough, right? Like if you get into a stretch one day after 6 or 7 days, and all of a sudden you're like, oh wait, my hamstring stretch is getting real good. I'm like really coming down into that belly button into the leg position, and you go a little bit harder on that day because you're like so excited. It's totally possible that the next day your hamstrings are going to be a little bit sore. So you got some options. You can dial back the intensity the next day, the next 2 days. You can, that's the do stuff portion. The other thing is you can try to really focus on getting a little bit of extra sleep, making sure to eat well and to relax, trying to de-stress. So you got some time to recover in between. Is there anything else? You can not do the stretches if that helps you. But if that takes away from your ability to practice consistency and it's going to keep you from coming back and doing reps in the future, maybe don't do that and just dial back the intensity instead. Those are options. Okay, I'm going to scroll some more back in the chat to see what else is going on. I'm going to go all the way back to the bottom and then we'll wrap up. If you're wondering why it takes me so long to scroll, it's because I get a lot of notifications in the chat, including when people follow, when people join in, and I'm allowed to invite them to co-host the live and all sorts of other things. So I don't just see comments. I promise that it doesn't just take me forever to scroll from here to here. Josh Tree asked about seeing the side split from a different angle. We covered that. Linda says thank you. And Ganowski says I missed it. Oh no. It's okay. You can make it for tomorrow. Don't worry, Ganowski. Welcome back though. Thank you for making it in for the tail end. Che says see you tomorrow. Thank you, Che. See you soon. Josh asks, wow, how do you put your hands back so far without falling? Ooh, great question. Hold on. It jumped to the bottom. Okay. Josh asked about how to put the hands so far back without falling. At some point, when you spend enough time in this position, you start getting stronger and stronger and stronger because there's just no way that you can hang out here without getting stronger over time. Get to a situation where you have a little bit more control, right? And also, I've been talking about this wall, right? 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall all the time, so that if you start falling backwards, there's something there to catch you. If you use the wall a little bit strategically with that intentionally, and you sit down with your butt against the wall while you work on that side split, you can get a little bit of support. And with that support, it might be a little bit easier to hang out and experiment. So that might be a little trick to help bring your hands back. But what I think I demonstrated, what I think you're talking about, is when we were here in this position on the sideways, and I just put this arm back here. I don't know. I think I'm just barely flexible enough that, and my hands are just barely long enough that since I'm not wobbling around too much, I can shift the weight around from the outside or the inside. Oh, my fingertips are tired. Okay, that's enough. Oh, my fingers are only just long enough, okay? They're not, I don't have long arms. So, now my hands are tight. Okay, that's it. I hope that's helpful. Josh says thank you. See you tomorrow. Okay, awesome. Thank you everybody for coming in one last time. We're doing 45 to 60 minutes. Realistically, it's way longer than 60 minutes these days. We just finished up 79 minutes of live side split stretching, hip mobility work, and Q&A. We do this every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern. If you are not in the Eastern time zone, you're like, what does that mean? We started an hour and 20 minutes ago. The first hour is basically stretching and me joking around, trying to keep you entertained so that you can suffer through the stretches without suffering so badly with a little bit of entertainment. And then at the end, we do a little bit of Q&A. If you had questions and stuff that I didn't see while we were doing the exercises, then we talk about it. Cool? That is how we practice consistency. I try to make it more fun. We try to add in a little bit of community, and hopefully we make a whole bunch of progress in our side splits, in our hip mobility, working on those legs. If you enjoyed the live, make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back, because we do this every single day. I also make a whole bunch of other content that's not just side split stuff. Most of the time, it's about trying to incorporate a little bit of fitness into little tiny chunks throughout your day, so that it's not overwhelming, so it doesn't feel like you have to commit an hour every single day or every other day to go to the gym or whatever it is. And it's more about getting 2 minutes while your microwave is finishing up your lunch, or I guess warming up, heating up your lunch, or 2 minutes while your kettle is boiling some water. We did stretches for 30 seconds and they were probably unbearable by the end, right? 30 seconds is enough to get some work done. 2 minutes is plenty to get a small, tiny workout completed, and you shouldn't sleep on it. So if there's any message out there, it's you don't need to work out for an hour at the gym every single day. For most people, some tiny bits and pieces throughout the day is plenty and will be way better than nothing at all. So check out the other content on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram. On all three, the username is the exact same. It's at splits on the side. Susan Howard said it perfectly. Keep moving. Maybe that's a criticism because I just stopped moving. But anyways, it's probably not. I just released another video on YouTube. This is a long form video, so it's wide and not long or tall this way, vertical. And it's about the frog stand. It's one of the first hand balancing moves that you can learn in calisthenics, and it looks a little bit like this. Actually, I'll do it from the front. When you get into this kind of like deep squat situation, you look like a frog, ribbit. We are sticking our elbows right here, right behind the knee, like so. Taking our fingers, pointing them straight up into the air, opening up our hands, leaning forward, putting those hands down, and boom. We are in the frog stand. This is the frog stand position. From the side, it looks a little bit like this. Your forearms are going straight down into the ground, and the rest of your body is acting a little bit like a seesaw. When you figure out how to balance, you don't need that much strength at all because your arm is going straight into the ground. You're not holding up that much body weight. This is a great first exercise, first movement to learn if you want to work on some cool skills. And I have a full 6-minute video on YouTube about this movement, so you can go check it out. The username is at splits on the side. It is the most recent video I've uploaded. I think it was a week and a half ago, so please, if you're interested, go check it out. If you got questions, come on back tomorrow, let me know what they are, and we'll wrap with some frog stand stuff. Cool? Frog stand is also cool, one last thing, because once you build confidence in your hands, you can start stacking on new skills on top of it, right? So the immediate, sibling of the frog stand is often called the crow pose. And it looks a little bit different because you're resting your knee on top of your triceps. And it looks a little bit like this. Whew, it requires a little bit more strength. But once you got this down, you can start doing cool things like doing them with one leg. And once you get really comfortable with these, handstands won't be super intimidating because you're already used to being upside down. Cool? All right, that's enough of my spieling. It's time to wrap up and say goodbye. Oh, what else we got? At splits on the side is the username on YouTube and Instagram. Thank you, Travel with Roxy. That is correct. Thank you for writing out for us. And I think that's everything. That is everything. All right. Thank you. One last time for coming in, practicing consistency, working on that hip mobility, on those side splits. I hope you had fun. I hope you're ready to relax and chill out. Get lots of sleep, get lots of rest, and have a great rest of your day. I will see you in No, 22 and a half hours. Tomorrow at 9 p.m. Oh, thanks, Susan. I appreciate it. Bye.